All right. So I think let's start with the reset since that's our update, and then we can go into Thanksgiving. Okay, so I'm on week 3. And so I have to say through this whole process that I think there's 8 of us doing it maybe over the course of the last 4 or 5 weeks. We have a group chat going, and today I posted in there that I'd knock a grandma over for some grains because that's about how I'm feeling right now. Like I would be so thrilled to go back to week 2 food, just like, I don't know, just the fruit and the vegetables and the fat. I don't know. It's not like this week is my hardest week for sure. And
Wow.
and it's funny because I'm really looking forward to just like today I had a little bit of brown rice because it said optional week 3 if you're feeling a little, like you need it. And like it just to have a regular bowl of that for dinner would make me so happy. I don't miss the sugary treats. I don't miss cookies. I don't miss, all those things, but I really miss just more diversity in real food and protein. Like I could also knock over grandma for some chicken and some salmon. So I don't care about the beef, but it's kind of funny how it's all
Very
coming
interesting.
up. It is. And I was telling my husband tonight, I'm like, the only thing I'm not crazy about today is I'm feeling, I'm going to call it bingey, but I'm not a binge eater. I don't binge according to the, more technical terms of things, but I feel bingey. Like I feel like I really want stuff and all I'm thinking about is next week when I can add something in and what I'm going to have. And I'm not crazy about that because that to me is like a signal that I'm in a place that I'm bordering on things that I don't like people to deal with nutrition, right? I don't feel like you should feel like that on a nutrition plan. You should. So that's a little bit where I'm like, okay, I'm going to just have these grains in the afternoon for the next few days. And and it's not that I'm not satisfied and I'm not hungry right now. It's just there's something else happening this week where I'm kind of like itching to get back there. So yeah, so that's kind of interesting. And I think that's something to watch for too. If you're doing any plan, right? Like you should feel okay with things. So this week, you're also more accustomed to making things and it feels like things are kind of similar. So I'm not thinking about how I'm going to make it or prepping it or the grocery list as much this week. So that's also taken my mind off those things. Following the menu plan your first time through, and Marianne, I don't know if that's your first, is this going to be your first one through?
Yeah, I did a 3-day reset. It didn't go very well, but I'm really hopeful.
This is totally different. Totally
different. Good, because I was like ready to knock people over for like the most simple things.
Yes, so much more food. But I think the thing I liked about it in week 1 and 2, following the plan as is I was constantly thinking about the prep part of it. Mm-hmm. Right? I wasn't thinking about, and you have so much food, like you're not hungry. And there was days I didn't finish things, especially in week 1 and the beginning of week 2. But it's kind of keeps you in a prep mode versus a like, I'm not getting to do this, or you know what I mean? In that mindset of I'm missing this or I'm not having this, you're kind of like, okay, do I have everything for lunch? Because I got to start making it pretty soon. I got to take my supplements and then 30 minutes later, I need
to. Is it easy to prep and like make stuff? Like that's one thing I'm kind of worried about is like
nothing is complicated. Like as far as prep, like as far as cooking wise, nothing is complicated. It's just like, it takes me probably 15 minutes to chop all the things to make the salad. So it's just a lot of chopping and diversity. So, I mean, the good news is about that is I really have been shocked at how little my cravings are this whole time for having other things. I mean, my family's been eating, creamy pastas and beef and just whatever they want. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm fine. So that's
cooking for them too?
No. I told them they're old enough. I'm like, I got 3 weeks off, people. I am cooking my own food. This is mommy's break. Y'all can figure out your own meal planning, your own stuff. So it's funny because my son has been making some Hawaiian dishes. One's called masabi. So it's like the little piece of spam with the rice, you know? So he's been making that for his lunches this week, and they're figuring it out, which is good because I think it was refreshing for all of us, or well, for me.
Deanna's like, I'm just talking about myself.
Really?
Right. Yeah. And I kind of feel like I took this 3 weeks as kind of my break, right? I haven't been uber active even in my business. Obviously I'm responding to customers and stuff like that, but you know what I mean? I'm taking this as if I need a nap, I take a nap. If whatever, I feel like that's kind of where I'm at, which I've really enjoyed. Because I think it takes a lot of the stress out of it. Right. And,
So in this, Dan, all the meals you make, they give you the recipes? Is that how it
yes,
works?
it
Nothing's
is
pre-made.
totally
You're going to
lined
the
up.
store and you're buying everything and you're making it
Yes.
because it all looks so professional.
Well, thank you. That's just my own skills, Kathy.
I'm like, wow, it looks delicious, everything you make.
Well, I appreciate it.
Everybody's food that I've been seeing, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in plating to look appetizing also. Like I do that even with my regular dinners, just because I think when it looks beautiful, then you're more excited about it. So I like to plate things, and if it needs a little greenery or needs something, you just throw it on.
How much fruit do you get for breakfast? Because it looks like a big plate. What do they
3
say?
cups. 3 cups of
3
fruit.
cups of whatever you want.
Yeah, so it has recommendations, and it recommends you go lower on the glycemic index. So I think did we talk about that last week? Yeah, I think we did with the fiber. Same kind of idea. The more fiber and less sugar the fruit has in it, the better that is to have. So like raspberries, strawberries, any kind of berry really. I did do some grapes, but I was surprised to find out those are lower on the glycemic index too when I looked them up. I did cantaloupe a lot of days. Yeah, so whatever they recommend, whatever's in season that you can get your hands on and sounds good to you.
Because they look so fresh too.
Yeah, I personally don't mind going to the store, so I go about once a day.
Oh, really?
I don't go get it for the week. I actually like to go and get it just kind of based off what I need. So I'll go every day or every other day.
Do you need to
Wonder why
measure
it's
it
so
out? Like, how are you measuring it?
I always use the same size plate, and I eyeball the fruit because it's not as critical. Like it's funny because the example they give you is actually 4.5 cups of fruit. But then on a statement it makes on the previous page, it talks about how you don't want to have more than 3 servings of fruit, which they consider a serving a cup. So if you go off that thing, you're at 4.5 cups. If you go off this, you're at 3 cups. So I just kind of go somewhere in the middle and what looks about the same each time.
You have the whole 3 cups at breakfast and you don't have any more fruit the rest of the day?
Right. I did have a emergency half apple when I was at my son's guitar lesson. I took it with me knowing that it was going to be right in the middle of the time where I'm probably going to get hungry. So I had it just in case. And so I did have some fruit like in an afternoon a couple days ago. But yeah, otherwise it's just in the morning.
What's the thinking behind having the fruit just in the morning?
Well, I think it's for energy. Yeah, I would think you're getting your sugar, a little bit of sugar. You're getting, things that energize you a little more. And then lunch is a salad of some sort. There's a couple different variations you can do for lunch. The week 3, 2 and 1, there's other options other than salad. But a lot of vegetables at lunch. And then dinner, it actually tends to be fairly big, which I was kind of surprised. Like tonight, I'm going to have Asian stir-fried vegetables with tempeh and miso soup. And it'll be a pretty good size amount.
Do you have to make the salad dressing?
You do. They're super easy. I just
Sue's
stick
like,
them in
yes.
the jar. I stick them in the jar and go like this. And then you stick them in the refrigerator. Like I did 2 of them. The Greek dressing is my favorite. And then I did the creamy garlic.
Oh, that's my favorite.
And so then I just had to remake it this week. So those first 2 jars lasted me the first 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah. And then you just
I probably will not buy store-bought salad dressing again because they're very good. You know exactly what's in them, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It is, and it's easy. And with the vinegar, they stay. They're gonna last you a while.
Are those recipes anywhere else? Are they fixate recipes?
You know, they're not Fixate. They're part of the reset because they're definitely more vinegar based, but Fixate has a ton of dressings, which will be just as good. And those are probably going to allow a little more sugar. These are pretty vinegary, just for digestive purposes and, you know, falling. And they're also, I mean, I don't think they have a lot more oil than normal. I think they probably have a reasonable amount of oil because we do eat a lot of oil. Like last night, let's see, I had something with coconut. What was that? 2 nights ago. Oh, the Asian stir fry that I'll have again tonight. That was like a tablespoon of coconut oil in with the vegetables. And then you add another 1.5 teaspoons of sesame oil. So just that in those vegetables. So normally when we're cooking on Fixate, you get a teaspoon basically, you know, or people just spray the pan with a light spray. So it's even less. So that's where some of the satiation, the feeling satisfied is coming from. We, you know, like the snack I had was 1/3 of an avocado and I already had a half avocado at lunch. Plus my salad dressing, you know, was part oil, part vinegar. So that was probably a tablespoon of oil in there. So, you know, I mean, that's kind of how you keep going through just having vegetables because those calories aren't very much. And like I had a 1/3 cup of pumpkin seeds. So I mean, I don't know how many oranges and blues I even had already today. That would be a lot.
And you're losing weight on it?
Yeah, I am. You know, I don't lose weight very fast. I lost 3.5 pounds or 3 pounds the first week. I lost a little under 1 pound the second week. Week 3 is where a lot of people lose quite a bit because you've taken out, you know, all the risk factors for inflammation at this point. So you're really kind of smooth sailing on things that shouldn't affect your body unless there's a vegetable that, you know, you have a sensitivity to. But I don't know. I haven't gotten on the scale this week, so I have no idea where I'll end up. How was yours, Sue? What was your pattern?
I did a total of 9 pounds. I think I lost 3 the first week and maybe 2 the second, and then the rest was the third week.
Yeah.
But you don't have 9 pounds to lose. That was
Well, apparently I did because I lost 9 pounds.
but you don't look like it though.
Yeah, I can tell you where I lost it. So I definitely lost it in my butt and in my stomach. I mean, those are the 2 places that.
Yeah, my pants are sliding down a lot more because my waist is a lot different.
Wow.
And I think, you know,
even though you're not losing the weight, you notice it in your waist and maybe your face and stuff like that.
Yeah, week 2, that's the week I only lost 1 pound, but that's when my clothes totally started fitting different. And I could that's where I could really tell. Week 1, I was kind of surprised I had lost what I lost because I didn't feel all that different in my clothing. But, you know, you think about like, there's a lot of talk, if you look at digestive stuff, that you can carry quite a bit of, you know, waste, we'll call it, in your intestines. Along the way, there can be kind of nooks and crannies where things kind of sit if you don't have a good amount of fiber or things to clear those out. So that's part of this process too. So, you know, there's people that lose up to 20 pounds during this 3 weeks. And my guess is they probably lost some water weight, right? Because they had inflammation. They probably were holding on to some extra waste in their system. And this was probably a much different way of eating for them than previous. You know, I just think, and depending on how much weight you have to lose, your body may be taking more of that stored fat to use up too. There is a risk when you're not getting as much protein and you're doing low calorie that, you know, your body can go to your muscle structure to supply energy. This is such a short period of time. It's not considered too risky for that. But, you know, that's something it just depends on what your body composition is like going into it, kind of the weight loss. And a lot of people that I've seen so far, I was actually going to post this question in the group, there's a reset group, which is nice, of people who have done it and are currently doing it. And I was going to ask them like how they held on to that weight loss after, like, did they see gains after, or, you know, what did it look like a month out? Because I know Kim, she felt like she didn't put on weight for months, and she resumed her more regular eating. I think she was a little better with getting more vegetables and stuff in, but she felt like her body had reset in a way that like she wasn't necessarily, it wasn't just coming right back on. Like with the 3-day refresh, that can come on pretty quickly. I mean, it's only 3 days. You're not actually dropping a lot of fat there. The helpful part of the 3-day refresh is that hopefully it resets you for craving wise so that you continue to eat better after.
It didn't. I skipped the last meal and ordered a pizza.
Love it.
So that's how that went for me.
Yeah, the first time I did the reset, my family was scared of me several times. And then the second time I kind of knew going into it a little better. And so I did it much better, but there was still a little fear, a little apprehension. But this one, that's the other piece that we haven't talked about before. This is kind of can bring up emotions for people when you are getting things out of your system and when you're cleaning things up. And it talks in the book about how some people have emotions come up. And I actually have been so relatively happy during this. And I was kind of shocked because I can get in a rut like anybody else, and I can, throw down some tears over nothing. And I kind of expected to go into that a little bit, like have these days where I just kind of felt frumpy or funky, but like my mood about it has not been that way. And so I was a little surprised by that too. So
just wondering.
Yeah, Deanna, I wasn't emotional either. And I think a lot of it for me was I literally allowed myself to sleep when I was tired or just sleep all night.
yeah.
And I think because I slept so well that I was really well rested.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is critical during this, because if you're not, you're more stressed. And then that's also, we've talked about this before, right? When you can bring in some of those cravings and some of that, like, I've got to have something kind of thing, which reminds me, I didn't sleep that great last night. So maybe that's why I'm, ready to not gram over. I don't know.
Now, are you guys working out during this, or what are you doing?
No, I will get on and pedal for about 15 minutes at nothing, I'm just sitting there pedaling, just to listen to some of the good music and see what some of the workouts look like. And then I've walked the dog, so nothing they say 2 20-minute walks a day is about as much as you want to do.
But Jess worked out the entire time she did it though.
She did. She's done it before, she will say her results were still good. She means results in weight loss, right? Whereas it's hard to tell how your body healed itself during that time. The goal of not working out is really just so that your body can concentrate on itself and not the muscle structure, and not, because you are adding stress to yourself when you work out, especially if you're working out with weights. Or working out in intense levels, and your body has to fix itself from that too, right? So it's hard to measure. Would your digestion be better? I don't know if you didn't work out. You know what I mean? I think it's a very subjective thing. And I think it depends on what you kind of go into it as, because I know some of the group were definitely more focused on the weight loss piece of it. Which is fine, because it's definitely a healthy way to drop some weight. And you come out of it though also able to absorb nutrients better. You are more aligned with, good eating, less cravings.
So wondering, Sue, you said you lost the 9 pounds. Did you take your measurements? Did you lose any inches?
I didn't. But I'm sure I did. I'm sure I lost inches.
Oh, but you didn't measure.
Yeah, because I can look at pictures of like profile pictures of me, and I can clearly see the difference, I said, in my butt and in my stomach.
Okay.
Yeah.
I took measurements, so we'll see where it ends up.
Yeah. I completely forgot. I took pictures, but I didn't take it. I know I didn't take pictures until the end of week 1. So
yeah,
it's okay.
And so what have you added back in, Sue?
Well,
Have you posted?
let me see.
Uh-oh.
I had cauliflower pizza yesterday. I have added fish back in. I did farina for breakfast. I've eaten brown rice and quinoa, but I'm 2 weeks out as well.
Yeah.
So,
And to be
I
fair,
did-
you already ate mostly vegetables. You were, I would call you pescatarian, right? You like fish, but
Correct.
you're more vegetarian.
Correct.
Yeah.
I've not eaten any other meat whatsoever. So yeah, so that's I've pretty much added just about everything back into it.
And did you notice, I know you said when you added coffee in, your stomach wasn't quite crazy about it. Did you have anything else affect you?
There was something I ate the other day and I can't remember what it was. And then I went to bed and it was kind of bothering me and I'd have to think about what it was. But other than that, no, I haven't had any other adverse effects.
Have you added Energize back in?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah.
Like,
I
But then again,
I love that reaction.
I know, right? I don't always drink Energize before my workouts anyway.
What?
so-
What?
I know, no, I don't.
You
I
have
just
to
go
give
at
us
it.
a tip.
it's like the best way to wake up in the morning. What are you
I
talking
don't think
about?
my
Yeah.
bod logs in unless I've had Energize.
I know. So, but there again, if I'm sleeping really well, I don't need it.
That's true.
So yeah. So,
True.
but yeah, no, I haven't added Energize. I am doing Shakeology. I did add like a half a cup of coconut milk back to my Shakeology, which is wonderful. And no other dairy, like no cheese, nothing.
Yeah, I
like
think
that,
I'm gonna
so.
try to leave the dairy out for a while. But I know for sure I'm having rice and beans on Monday.
There you go.
Now,
just-
what are you gonna do for Thanksgiving? I know that sounds like a completely
Yeah.
ridiculous question, but it's something that I was thinking about.
Yeah. Well,
Are you asking me or Deanna? Because we're
Both
both
of you.
at
I mean,
different-
both of you,
Oh,
really. Like, I have so many questions.
So for me, I'll just do it first. So for me, I won't eat turkey because I just won't. I will make sweet potatoes. Actually, I did the roasted root vegetables tonight for tomorrow, and I will probably make that. So I have that, and everybody can share it, of course. Sweet potatoes and then salad and another vegetable is what I'll do. But all of that can be made for everybody, and then I'll just eat just that. Like I won't eat mashed potatoes. I probably won't eat stuffing, which I love, but I won't eat it.
You wouldn't normally eat turkey anyways, though, right?
I think I ate a little bit of it last year, but no, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Not this year. I don't really care much for turkey that much anyway. So ground turkey I like, but regular turkey, it's okay. So, but that's what I'm gonna do. And then I probably will eat some pumpkin pie. So I'll be honest. So Deanna, what are you gonna do?
well, so Wednesday is when our house fills up with people and it's kind of an appetizer night as the travelers come in. So we're making turkey dinner egg rolls, which is going to be like a smoked turkey, stuffing and sweet potato in it. So I will have some of that. I'll have like one or a half of one or something, depending on how big they are. And I've heard we're having elk sliders. And there's like this cheesy, it's a family tradition where it's like this cheesy thing you put on crackers. I've had it lots before. I don't care about having it this year. So my plan is to go in with, I'm going to have a lot of vegetables leading up. I'll have my fruit in the morning. I'll have my salad at lunch. And I will also have something available for me on Wednesday and on Thursday that I can go to. There's not a lot of foods at Thanksgiving or that will be around that are like near and dear to me. So it's going to be, I think, pretty easy for me to just kind of eat what I want or try a bite of something or this or that. So I don't see it as being too much of a pull, I guess. I just need to make sure I've, prepped my own stuff.
Yeah, you said something like months ago on a call, and you were saying about how when you see food, you're like, well, I can have that whenever I want it. And that hit so much with me that even literally today I went and I I got lunch and I wanted to get something and I was like, I can have that anytime I want it. I don't need it now. And I was like, yes, Deanna.
I love it. And that's my favorite thing, honestly, that I feel like I drew from, going through this whole process. Cause it's like, you just kind of take that pull away, and that's how I'm talking myself out of, knocking people over today. Cause I'm like, yeah, I'll have it next week. It'll be fine. It's going to
They appreciate that.
Yeah. These 3 days are going to be fine. Yeah. And like Saturday night, we're going to a friend's house for a football game. So I'm going to make my Asian stir fry with my tempeh ahead of time and my miso soup, and I'll just heat it up at their house and, have my stuff then.
So I had a conversation with my family a couple weeks ago at my mom's birthday party, and my brother and I were talking, and we said, the typical, we grew up and every get together revolved around food and drinking, and I'm sure you guys, a lot of you are like that as well. And I said, it's okay. I don't need to eat lasagna and I don't need to eat cake tonight because I can have it in the future if I want it. So I'm just going to make my own meal. And I said, I hope you don't care when I come down to your house for Thanksgiving that I bring my own food. He goes, no, now if you ask me to buy you food so you can make or I need to make what you need to eat, then that might be different. But so don't be afraid to take food with you if you guys go somewhere.
Totally agree. So yeah, let's jump into Thanksgiving.
People don't care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
they don't care.
So that's one of the big tips for Thanksgiving. We talked about this at Halloween too. Bring something that you can eat. So there's always something you can eat there, and feel free to bring enough for everybody, right? Because I think you'll find if you're eating it, other people will at least want to try it, eat it. I think food is one of those things that's kind of like alcohol, where there's a lot of food pushers, and I'm guilty of being a food pusher. And it's one of those things where people feel like they're obligated to eat things or participate in things when they shouldn't need to be, right? Like if you don't want to have something, you don't have to put it on your plate. You don't have to have it if it's not going to fit in with what you want to do. Now, if it's your favorite thing, then have some of it, right? Enjoy it. This is your time. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things I've learned. I always, like when we're going to some kind of gathering, I always make sure I'm bringing something that I want to eat.
I always bring the vegetable tray.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always have some kind of salad I'm bringing,
And I always have snacks in my purse. So if you ever end up stuck in an elevator with me, I promise we won't starve.
Starve, yay.
Keep that in mind.
I love it.
My trick is I used to get the biggest plate possible. Now I get the smallest plate possible.
Yes.
Because
That's a good one.
if I have a big plate, I'm gonna fill that sucker as full as possible. It's probably gonna be falling on the floor. It's so full. And so if I get a smaller plate, I just don't eat as much because I just absolutely love Thanksgiving. So turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, yams, Brussels sprouts, all that. We have a lot of food. So
Are you hosting, Lily? Do you host Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we're having roast beef, we're having turkey, we're having ham, we're having roasted vegetables, roasted Brussels sprouts, yams, stuffing.
Cool. I'll see you Thursday.
Yeah, we'll all be over. It sounds like
Seriously.
you're gonna have enough food.
What can we bring?
All right, fly into Portland. We'll all drive up together.
There we go. Carpool.
How many people are you having, Lily?
I think like 20 something.
Okay.
One gets the roast beef, one gets the ham, one gets the turkey.
Yeah. I think we're at like 21 people. So that's
And so, in that small plate idea too, then you get to pick the things you want, right? Fill that thing up.
Yeah.
But then you still feel satisfied from getting the things you wanted, but you're not nearly as downtrodden from the amount of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part because when you're hungry here's another lesson, right? Don't go into Thanksgiving starving. Don't wait all day because of this one meal. Make sure you have eaten good things leading up to it, because then it's like you can put a normal amount, but like if it's like going into any store hungry, grocery store hungry, right? You come up with all this random stuff that you didn't necessarily care about. And same thing, every plate that's going to go by, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to need some of that because I'm really hungry right now.
Yeah, and my eyes are always bigger than my stomach. So that's why I'm like, I don't need a huge plate. I just need a small plate where I can taste a little bit of everything. And, you know.
You got to make sure you only take one plate. You don't refill it.
We did a whole segment about buffets when I was on Dr. Oz, like about like overeating at buffets. And random story, but bear with me. And one of the things he talked about is that when you sit down, sit with your back to the food.
Oh,
So that way you
good,
don't
yeah.
see it. And you're not tempted to go get like second, third, or fourth. And so I think about that. Not that I'm at buffets often, but just with food in general, when it's around, like if you have your back to it, you can't see it.
Right. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. And you know, maybe like if our situation is going to be like this, the bar I'm sitting at right now is going to be full of food. So maybe when I've had my food, I congregate somewhere else, right? So that I'm not standing next to it. Or if you're having a sit down dinner, then clear those plates right away, get things put into containers, you know, get it kind of up, out and out of the way, give people doggy bags so you don't have so much leftovers that you feel like you have to overeat the next day to get, you know, things used up. And remember, you can have it the next day, so you don't have to eat it all the day. What other things, what do you guys find problematic about Thanksgiving, do you think?
Champagne.
Ooh,
I'll just be honest.
you guys are a champagne Thanksgiving. Wow.
Oh,
Wow, we're definitely coming to your
my
house.
Seriously.
That's
My-
fancy.
my family loves champagne. Yeah, my brothers and my sister-in-laws, we all enjoy champagne. The joke of our family is that my husband's grandmother, her favorite sound was the popping of the champagne cork. That was her favorite sound. And she's like, just give me more, just keep it filled, you know? And so we just carry on the tradition.
All right.
So yes, I don't tend to overeat now on Thanksgiving dinner, but I tend to have my fair share of champagne. So, but I'm okay with it because it's one day and
Right.
I'm enjoying my family and I'm having a good time. And I know that it's not going to pack on 12 pounds. And then, you know, if I in one day and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's lesson number 1,220, right? Like, don't, you know, plan for it. Plan, you know, you're going to have that champagne. You already have a plan for your food. So the next day, you know, you're just going to get up and resume, right? You're going to get your workout done. You're going to drink some extra water, maybe even drink some water before, just to, you know, make sure you're well hydrated and ready, set, go.
Yeah. I double fist my water in this hand and my champagne glass in this hand. So I'm good.
I love it. So I'm going to post in this under the recording. There's a ton of Thanksgiving meals, recipes, all of that stuff on the blog. One of the things I've done, and I can't remember if it's off the Beachbody blog or if it was just in Pinterest, it was a cauliflower stuffing and it was so good. It was cauliflower rice, I think, or maybe just chopped up florets, but it was like all the flavors of stuffing were still there. And I just thought it was really delicious. So if that's, you know, tip number whatever, right? Somebody,
That sounds
Please,
good.
please post that. I want to try that one.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah,
seriously.
I'll see if I can find the cauliflower one because it was really delicious. And you know, you can modify some of these recipes to be just a little better. Like maybe your sweet potato casserole doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it and marshmallows. Maybe there's some maple syrup blended into it with some pecans on top. So you get a little fat and a little bit of sugar, but not the crazy hit, you know, of corn syrup. Or the cauliflower stuffing, or, you know, whatever you like is your thing. You can make mashed cauliflower instead of mashed potatoes. I don't know if everybody'd go for that, but I think they're really delicious once you throw a little cream in there and some roasted garlic.
I did last year and I was the only one that ate them, so I had plenty left over. It was totally fine. I was like, don't eat my cauliflower mashed potatoes. I'm good.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a ton of recipes on the blog for healthy Thanksgiving and, things to take to parties and all kinds of stuff.
And then we posted earlier about the pumpkin pie. There's the whole wheat crust pumpkin pie. And I'm sure that one has just a little less sugar in it. And I think you'd be surprised, like it's okay to take some of that sugar out. Like I make jam now and hardly put any sugar in it. And that's what my family is used to. I don't know what they'd do if they got regular jam. They'd probably think it tasted weird. I don't know. But, you just kind of, you adjust to those things and you still get to have that pumpkin pie goodness and throw a little coconut whipped cream on there or something, or, dairy if that's your jam, and you still get that satisfying feeling without having all the extra stuff. I can't remember, Lily and I were talking about these, but there's a birthday cake or something they're banana cream pies that Autumn has on Fixate. And I am making those soon at some point. Maybe not next week because Thanksgiving and stuff, but the week after. Those have been on my list and I am making them.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, they sound so good.
I
I love it. Well, does anybody have any other Thanksgiving tips, tricks, struggles you want to talk about?
Kathy, are you hosting Thanksgiving?
This year, there's just no family around, so we're going out to eat. My daughter's coming in, and I was talking to a friend from high school, and I said, what are you doing? She says, they're going out to a restaurant. I said, can we get in on your reservation? So there'll be 6 of us, because I just don't have any family around. And
Where's your daughter?
Well, she's come. Well, that's one. There's 3 people. It's just me, her, and my husband. So I have one cousin that we usually get together with them, but they don't want to this year because the mother is old and sick and they're afraid of COVID. So I said, I'm not going to push myself. So we're going to go out.
Yeah. Well, that'll be nice too. You don't have to do the
You don't
dish.
have to clean up.
You get to enjoy the food.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the no cleanup part.
Yeah.
But then my daughter will be here all weekend, so we got to figure out what we're going to eat the rest of the weekend. And then Christmas, we just got our invitation. We're going up to relatives in Boston, so we'll be up there for Christmas. So that's good.
Awesome.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Are you hosting, Maribel?
No, my daughter is. I am not. I'm helping her cook a turkey. She's doing all the major things. She's good at that, so I'm like, I'll just help you a little.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait till my kids are old enough where I can just storm their house and they can
I
be in
know,
charge
right?
of it.
I tell her, I'm like, there's also like 20, 25 of us. It's just family and my kids, and they're all like 24, 28 years old. So I'm like, hey, go for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're going to enjoy the first Thanksgiving, but the next day she's like, I'll call you so we can clean up everything.
You're like, I'm busy that day.
Yeah, I know. I'll be like, hey, wrong number.
Marianne, what do you do? Because you must not be by family.
You're not by family. We so neither my husband nor I like turkey.
Me either.
So I think it's overrated. Anyways, so we would usually go to this place called the Honey Baked Ham store, but there's not a single store to be found in Manhattan. So we now have a 6-pound ham being shipped to us for the 2 of us. Thankfully, it can be frozen, and we will be freezing a lot of it, and we'll see it again at Christmas. But so we'll just celebrate Thanksgiving here, which will be nice. We'll have a nice 4-day weekend, which we both could use, specifically me.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just celebrate Thanksgiving and hang out, which will be nice. And I think we're gonna try to go Wednesday in the afternoon to see them blow up the balloons for the Macy's parade,
really?
because we're like
Oh,
right by
cool.
the parade route. So like we could walk down like a block and see the parade, but I want to see them blow the balloons up. So I think we're gonna try to do that Wednesday.
Oh, that would be fun.
I'll share photos if we're able to get to it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, so that's really about it. Nothing too crazy, which is kind of nice because
Have you
it's
done
been-
any other fun things in the city since you're there?
I went to a Van Gogh exhibit.
Oh, you
Uh,
did? Okay.
Yeah,
heard
like a
about
month
that.
ago, and that was really nice. And we've been kind of trying to get out and about a little bit here and there, but I've just been buried in like classwork and my job. And
Are you gonna see the Rockette Christmas show?
I've never seen it, so we might have
Oh,
to.
you should go see it. It's very
Is it
good.
good?
It's very
Yes.
yeah, it's pretty
We've gone a
spectacular.
number of times. My husband's dying to go back again this year. I
Oh,
said,
I'll have to
"Have you
check
seen
it
it
out.
yet?"
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, I've seen, my friends have talked about it. When I worked at 30 Rock, I'd always walk by it. But by the time I was going to work or leaving, I was so disgruntled with everybody standing outside for the show that I never went and saw it. I was like, I don't
Yeah, it's
care about the
good.
Rockettes.
It's worth it to go at least once, because we've
Okay.
gone numerous times.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, we've been trying to get out. It'll be much nicer, in the new year when I'm just working and not taking 2 grad classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
New York City is so magical this time of the year, so you've got a lot to look forward to.
It is. Macy's already starting to put up their Christmas decorations. They put the Believe sign across the side of the building. We saw it last weekend, and I was like pointing it out, and Brett's like, "What is that?" I was like, "That's the Christmas decorations that are coming. You don't even know."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, very
Bryant
never
Park
seen
is
it.
really nice behind the library.
Mhm.
They do that really nice for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm excited to take him around and show him. It's my favorite time to be in the city is the Christmas season because it's just decorations everywhere.
You gotta
So
take
are
I'm
you
really
going
sad
up
we're
here,
not
Sue?
coming.
Are you coming up here, Sue?
No, we're not coming this year.
Okay. Well, I'll be here next year too. So
I know.
We'll
If it
have to
changes,
do
I'll
it
let you
next
know,
year.
but
yes, you guys should do like one big trip and all converge on the city.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Kathy
gotta
just
get
has to
in
come
there.
into the train.
Yeah, I gotta come in and see you someday.
Yeah,
I'll
seriously.
let you know when and if we're going, to the Rockette show. Maybe.
Please do. We're like a stone's throw away, so we can just
Yeah.
hop on over.
Yeah.
So
Kelly, are you studying? No. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
No, I'm honestly, was working on my bio and listening, my studio bio. That's what I was working on. So I just got home a little while ago. There was, since we're talking about Thanksgiving, the company I work for had a Thanksgiving late lunch. Only 3 people showed up.
Wow.
how
It
many
was
people work at the
depressing.
company?
Oh, thousands, but it was only for our department, and there's like probably 30 plus of us, and three showed up. And Dave and I work in the same department, which that's a problem, obviously, since we're dating. So nobody knows that we're together. So it was very strange to be sitting next to him, not as a couple. And then our manager was there, and she showed up in yoga pants and a sweatshirt.
Oh.
I'm like, this is so bizarre and wrong at the same time too. And anyway, it's strange, but so anyway, us 3 ate, and it's just weird. That was weird. But as far as what I do with my family doesn't live in Dallas, so I travel back to West Texas. They're out in the middle of nowhere. I know Lily and Mary Bell have seen my parents' front door and porch, and I think my dad and my brother going back and forth as they're working, because they're they go inside the house and then they go back out, they go out to the field and they come back in. And anyway, that was in May, so they'll probably see that again if I'm able to call in the morning. But my plan is to leave this coming Monday, and be down there for a few days because I have to be back next Saturday to be at the studio. And so it's a different trip because typically I go like the day before, like a Wednesday, and I stay until like Sunday. So this time it's shifted early where I go Monday and I'm going to leave on Friday. It's still a few days, but technically I'm working on Monday and Tuesday, then still trying to close the studio, you know, get that deal done. I'm driving down there, so that's 5.5 hours and then to come back. But I don't know what we're going to do because they're actually stripping cotton. So my mom doesn't really cook much anymore. My sister, I've got 2 sisters and a brother. I don't think my brother will do anything unless we like ham. We're definitely about the ham. We still have turkey, but I prefer ham. So there might be something. Unfortunately, I'm still learning how to cook. So, I mean, I'm just going to be with my parents. Whatever we eat, I'd be okay with a freaking bologna sandwich. I'm not going to lie. I just want to see my parents.
I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
So
Oh,
you
here,
take some of the fix-it recipes with you. Make some of them.
The one thing that I want to do, and I've been trying to learn, my mom makes like the best pecan pie. And she
That sounds
has
good.
made it. She has made it where she has, because Dad doesn't like a lot of sugar. Over the years, she keeps cutting the sugar out and out. So I've been trying to, because I only see them like twice a year. I've been trying to practice. So the last few times she's kind of showed me how she does it. So I might attempt to do it with her supervision. She can watch and see how I do. So that's probably the one thing that that I will probably make with her. And then, like I said, whatever we have, I mean, it's fine. So the only thing that gets me when I'm there with them is they have, I don't know if y'all are familiar. I don't see them here in Dallas with the Swan, the company Swan, Swan. Is that probably
Yes.
not? This
Yes,
might-
yeah, Swan. Yeah, the delivery, the trucks with
Yeah.
the frozen
Yes.
trucks. Yes.
Yes. So out in the country, when you have no,
Wait, are you
know,
talking
nothing.
swans? Are you talking schwans or swan?
Swans.
Swan? I don't know. I call it swan.
SCHWANN.
Yeah, but it looks like it has a swan on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
The yellow truck,
Yeah,
right?
the yellow truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they buy all kinds of stuff for them. But what I like is their ice cream cone sundaes. So that's kind of my weakness because I know exactly where they're at in my parents' freezer.
They're not going to be there anymore.
No, they're waiting. They're waiting. Actually, Mom told me that the delivery guy stopped by. She's like, I didn't get anything. I wasn't thinking about the cones until right now. So he might, I don't know. I'm sure she has some. There's probably 1 or 2 tucked away somewhere. I tend to find them. And I like the ice cream sandwiches too. So I don't care. I'm just, when I'm down there, I just kind of eat whatever. But I still, like, when we go to the grocery store, I buy stuff for me, like, you know, what I want to eat. Mom knows that. She's like, Kelly's buying what she wants to eat. And I've always done that. So I still kind of watch what I'm eating. But I mean, my weaknesses are going to be like those ice creams, you know, because I don't have them and I don't buy them. So that's kind of my treat with my parents.
Yeah.
And then my dad, oh my God, that man, he eats every 2 hours. He's like a garbage disposal. But you know what? He eats very healthy. He's always got like an apple in his pocket. He's got like a little bag of nuts. You know, he's got all these little snacks and he just eats every 2 hours. He'll come and have like a little sandwich. Yeah, he just eats and eats. And I can always hear him go in the kitchen. I'm like, Dad, what are you eating? Oh, I just want a little something. Just a little snack. Or he'll have an orange, or, you know, he likes it's funny. He likes cherry tomatoes, but he doesn't eat the seeds inside them. He's like, literally, I don't know how he does it.
How does he get them out?
He sucks them out, and then I don't know. It's weird. He's got a process. It works for him. So, but his deal is I don't even know if I was born, but I've been told the story that he got sick from eating cherry tomatoes. And he said it was the seeds. So he likes cherry tomatoes, but he won't eat the seeds in them. Go figure.
Interesting.
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
I
my
see
dad-
Lily's got a label here too.
I
So
do.
anyway, so that's what I'm
Well,
doing.
Enjoy your ice cream sandwiches. with your
Yeah.
family.
We want to
Gonna
hear
have-
about them next. Well, oh yeah, we don't have a call.
And the pie.
We got a call the week after. So we'll hear about everybody's Thanksgiving on the after call.
Right.
So I bought, because I'm gonna make some pumpkin pies. So I bought cauliflower flour.
Oh,
And
Oh.
it's only the only ingredient is cauliflower. It's for 1 cup and 3 tablespoons, it's 100 calories and 1 gram of fat, 17 carbs, 7 fibers, 7 sugars, which is interesting, and 6 protein.
Yeah,
what's
so
the sugar?
the protein and the fiber is definitely more than regular flour.
Yeah, it's only cauliflower. There's nothing else in it.
Where's the protein come
I
from?
don't know.
Just cauliflower.
not have sugar?
Cauliflower has
Cauliflower
protein?
has protein, so does,
Oh.
yeah, a lot of vegetables have some.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm-
That's what the sugar is though, because
well, you
what
could
is-
have a naturally occurring sugar in it, right? And then because I'm sure it's like dried in some way, so then you can break it down into like a flour consistency.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like flour and feels like flour and, I mean,
I wonder what your ratios would be like if it said, does it say you go 1 to 1 still according to like regular white flour?
no, they have a cauliflower pizza crust on here. And it says, let's see, measure 3 tablespoons to 2/3 cup. I don't know. It doesn't really say. It says, I mean, it has a pizza crust recipe on here. So it has 3 tablespoons of cauliflower and then 2/3 cup of hot water, 1 egg, shredded mozzarella cheese, and basil. That's the ingredients for the crust.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I'm gonna play around with it. So, because I want to make the pumpkin pies with it. So, because I'm curious to see how it works.
Oh.
Yeah,
are you gonna make a pie ahead of time to see how it turns out before you Thanksgiving?
well, you
Well,
gotta
I'm
taste it
Like a
too.
true
I mean,
baker.
You gotta taste
I'm gonna
it, right?
try. I'm gonna try. I'm actually leaving Saturday, so I have very limited time. So, yeah, I'm gonna try. So,
So looking up just cauliflower, 1 cup of cauliflower has 8.2 grams of sugar.
There you go.
Interesting, huh?
Mm.
yeah,
That is,
that is
wow.
interesting. I wonder what regular flour is.
I don't know,
well,
I didn't look that.
Like a wheat.
I just bought one. Let me go grab it.
Like a wheat flour or something. I wonder if it, I mean, I thought the balance to 17 carbs to 7 fibers was really good.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is just cauliflower, so there's no added
Right.
anything in it, and it's gluten-free. I don't know. I thought it was interesting and figured I would try making pies with it.
After the holiday, Lily, I would give it a whirl for the pizza crust and see how easy that is to make. It sounded pretty simple.
I know, yeah. I wanted to definitely try that. Because I bought them in the past, but it usually has a bunch of, it's hard to find them without a bunch of junk in it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
just cauliflower and water and whatever your sauce is.
Oh, Deanna's come back with so
Okay.
much flour.
Yeah, I bought a regular white Bob's red mill today for the kids to make cookies. Okay, so just regular white is 120 calories, 0.5 grams of fat, so that's less. 24 carbs, 0 sugars, and 4 grams of protein.
What about
Is there
fiber?
any there's no fiber in it though?
Oh, 1 gram of fiber.
Okay.
Whole wheat is 140 for a half cup. I'm assuming a half cup is your serving.
1 cup.
Oh, okay. So,
1 cup and 3 tablespoons.
oh, I'm sorry. This is a quarter cup. A quarter cup is my serving. So
Wow.
yours is a lot less calories then too. So this one has no fat, 28 grams of carbs, 7 grams of fiber, and 6 grams of protein for a quarter.
Yeah, so this one has less calories and less carbs.
Yeah, and less of everything.
And less, no, protein is the same, fiber was
No, because
7.
that's, your protein is for a cup.
Oh, you're right.
For a quarter,
right.
like 1/4 cup.
Yeah, you're right. Mine is,
But the sugar too.
Yeah, there's no sugar in the whole wheat.
interesting. I think I
You
take
take
the
a
7.
picture, Lily?
What was that?
You take a picture of your thing, of your
Yeah.
cauliflower?
Yeah, I actually found it on Amazon, but yeah, I'll post it in the group.
Okay, thank
So.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us how it goes, because I'm curious, like if it's like an almond flour or coconut flour where you've got to adjust things because it soaks it up differently and the moisture.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know.
Does
Yeah.
it tell you on the container if it's a 1-to-1 ratio?
That's what I was looking at, but I didn't see. Says measure 3 tablespoons plus 2/3 cup of hydrate equals 1 cup of ready for any recipe. So I don't,
Interesting.
I'm not
All
sure.
right, we'll have to report back on that one.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, because that's not obviously, 3 tablespoons and 2/3 cup of water is not going to make a pizza crust. It seems like it's going to be not enough there, not enough substance.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it and get back to you.
I think so.
And I can tell you it was really expensive. This was like $12. It was
Okay.
like
What is that, like 16
$2.99.
ounces?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
How big is that bag?
it's 1 pound.
Wow.
1 pound.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say, yeah, because the ones that I looked the last time, they were organic and they were like $7. It's just like
Yeah.
a little tiny bag of cauliflower.
yeah. This is called Just About Foods. So
$12 a bag.
yeah, it was
Really, it
expensive.
might be cheaper to buy like cocaine.
Well, even
Oh, it would
Buy
be.
the cauliflower and grind it up.
right.
Yes,
Cauliflower is not that
that's
expensive.
way too much work though. I'm willing to pay the $12 to
Amen,
not have to
sister.
do that.
I mean, it's only
Amen.
cauliflower, so.
Well,
why
what's
is it so
interesting though is like what, you know what I mean? Like thinking about the whole wheat, what's better about that cauliflower than the whole wheat? Because you can't count it as a green because it's not the full cauliflower. It's not like actual cauliflower. Even though it is actual cauliflower, it has been processed in a way that it's not the full hydrated cauliflower, right? Like some of the thins we've looked at, those have pieces of cauliflower in it, and that's why they count it partially as a green. But like, what's the benefit versus just using a whole wheat flour? That's where I get kind of curious about things,
I
right?
don't
Like, you have
know.
all these trendy things where it's like use carrot flour and do this.
Maybe
but
the vitamins.
I doubt it. I mean, you're going to get a different set of ratio, but you don't know what's still left.
You
when
get
it-
iron and potassium, it says, from it, but other than that, and calcium. You get
So if you
calcium,
use that to
iron,
make
and
a
potassium.
pizza crust, it doesn't count as a green, but if you use a cauliflower pizza crust elsewhere, it does.
If you use a cauliflower crust that's pieces of cauliflower that are, patted down with the eggs and cheese, because that's generally what's in it, that can be considered partially a green, right? Like whatever the cauliflower piece of that as a green. But to have it dehydrated and made into a flour, it could just be the starches of the cauliflower. So I don't know that you could call that a green at that point. It's too processed.
I think we contact the company, Lily, and we ask them these questions.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna care.
I mean, this is a niche market they're peddling to, so they should, honestly.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just curious. It had less calories and it was only cauliflower. So I was like, yeah, I'll try it. So
Yeah. I mean, it's just food for thought. Like sometimes, we get wrapped up into the packaging or front of things, and you just kind of need to think about like, well, is this really going to be a better choice, or is it about the same, or is it the marketing? So it might be great. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying.
Can I get it past my kids? That's the question.
Right.
That's the question. Don't tell them.
Well, let us know how it turns out, because I am curious about the consistency and how it, how the
will.
crust actually forms.
I will. Now, my kids
Yeah.
always ask me now, like, did you put anything weird in this? Yeah.
What do you mean? Define weird.
Find
That's-
weird.
Define weird.
Don't get used to it.
Meaning,
Lily.
can I buy this from the store?
Yeah.
Is there a bunch of sugar in it, and can I buy it from the store? Nope.
Well, interesting enough, you can tell them there's a bunch of sugar in that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, yeah, 7. What is the, I mean, is that seems high to me. the
It
7
is pretty
grams.
high. I mean, it is. It's
But
naturally
cauliflower
occurring sugar,
has-
but like a regular flour doesn't have any sugar.
Yeah. But it has less carbs and less calories. I don't know. The sodium's 105.
Right, but it also, so like, let's say you count that, because it's still a yellow, just because of the way the grams are. So will your, like, so say you're counting it still as like 1 yellow, just for instance, and you're counting whole wheat flour as 1 yellow. So while there may be less calories, do you still feel as satisfied? Does it still do what it's supposed to do and get you to the next meal too? You know what I mean? All those
And
things.
also,
we take
it
into
also depends on how my body reacts to it too. I mean, because
Right.
I tend to feel bloated after having white flour or even sometimes whole wheat flour.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
So if it'll depend on if it, gives me the same reaction
yeah,
or not as well. That would make it more beneficial to me if I don't have the same bloated reaction to it.
100%. Yep. All those things take into consideration. All right, should we get a picture? We're already
Yeah.
past our time here.
We're having fun.
I gotta go make dinner, or I'm gonna knock somebody
Oh,
out here.
I gotta go to bed at some point.
Ditto.
Yeah, we
Are we ready?
For us, it's 9 o'clock, Mariana.
Jeez. Okay, you guys.
Perfect.
Have a good Thanksgiving, everyone.
Well,
We'll
yeah,
check in
everyone
with
have a
you
great
next-
Thanksgiving, and we'll
Yes.
resume the next week. I don't even know what day that is. Is it like 1st or 2nd or?
I think it's a second.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be the 2nd, because that's when job 1 comes out.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't wait.
yeah.
Yeah, the 2nd.
Perfect. Yeah, so we can hear about how everybody, what tips and tricks they use to keep it all going through Thanksgiving.
Mariana, you can watch them light the Christmas tree this year.
I know. We will have to get out and go see that. I don't think Brett's ever
That's
seen
so
that.
sad.
I know. It's okay. Next year, girls. Next year.
Can you video it for us?
I'll live stream so you
There
can
you
There you
go.
You
go.
can't get close to it. I went once. You just can't get any.
It worked it 1 year and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was a madhouse too. So,
Yeah.
but ladies, I won't see you again until like the end of December. So it's
All right, well, take
wonderful
care of
though.
yourself.
very well. I'll just keep working out. Don't mind me.
We see you on Facebook, so you're still
Yeah,
there.
I'm still there. Don't worry. I'll be back in
Yeah.
full force at the end of December. So close yet so far away. But this has been lovely. I'm so happy to
It was
see all
good
of
to
you.
see you. I'm
Yeah,
glad
it's
you
good
could hop
seeing you,
on.
Mariana.
Me too.
All right, you guys have a
All
great
right,
night.
bye guys.
Thanks,
Bye. See you later.
Bye.